What's going on, everybody? It's David from the 80s, and you're now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. While you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon account. You click, you become a member. All you got to do is try to recommend movies and music and trailers for me to react to. So click the link. Now, with that being said, we are here today to review Stranger Things Season freaking 4. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I went into this season with high skepticism because I didn't like last season. All right, that's number one. Number two, I really feel like the hype for this show has been died down because these gaps in between seasons, it's a no-go. And that's the same problem that I've been having with Cobra Kai as well. I get it. You need to film these shows. I get it. You need to take time to produce these shows. I get it. These actors have scheduling procedures and things like that. But these big ass gaps in between this show, I mean, shit, dude. It kind of gets you out of the mood to watch this show. But alas, I watched it. 7 episodes. I know 2 more are going to get released in July. The little season finale for season 4, so it hasn't wrapped up yet. But I sat down and watched all of it. So here I am today with the review. Now, with that being said, I like this season. This season was actually very, very fun. It's very dark, has a lot of horror elements. It's very bloody, and the tone is there. The dark tone is there. Uh, if I have to tell you anything, I really feel like this show is a freaking love letter to Nightmare on Elm Street. There's so many freaking Nightmare on Elm Street elements in it. It is ridiculous. Like you can literally see it in the first episode, and it follows it all the way through. And now the Upside Down feels like it becomes Freddy's Dream World. It's way too many. It's way too many connections and correlations between this season and Nightmare on Elm Street. It's no way that this wasn't like a love letter to Nightmare on Elm Street. I I'm serious. And then the fact that you got Robert England in the show, which he also does a fantastic job, and it's good to see my man back on the screen. Hint, Hollywood, stop trying to and then horror community too. Stop trying to get Robert England to come back to play Freddy. Have that man playing different horror roles, man. Just have him come back, play in different movies, do little horror shits here and there. And, he might want to jump on board. Stranger Things threw him a bag and he went for it. So it's just like, stop trying to get him in this box and only play Freddy, bro. Let's stop it. Let's stop that as a horror community. Anyway, Robert England does his thing. The whole cast does their thing. They do a freaking fantastic job. The soundtrack in the show is banging from beginning to end. I love the synthiness of this TV show. Matter of fact, I remembered how much I love it so much. I freaking ordered all the fucking vinyls for every season so far. And I'm waiting for season 4 vinyls to get released so I can get them bad boys too. And I'm not talking about Will Smith or Martin Lawrence. But anyway, the one thing that I didn't like about this show or this season is I really kind of felt like they lost the essence of what Stranger Things was. It really feels like Stranger Things used to be like this buddy, Goonies, like Summer of '84 vibes, kids going, trying to solve some shit, trying not to get killed. Those was the vibes. And it's like, although like it's still there and our characters are now growing up and they're like damn near adults, they're all about 18 now or older. And it's like, they have to find a way, and I'm glad they're wrapping it up next season, but it's just hard not to be like, it's hard to keep what's the word I want to use here? It's hard for them to keep a freaking good cohesive story that ties into the first season. Like, it's just really weird now that we're in season 4, right? And it's like, what the hell happened to like Callie from season 2? Like we have all these, we got introduced to this, and as soon as it went just as quick. And it's like, okay, that's cool. And then now in this season, we have answers to a lot of questions that we've been asking since the beginning. And it's a pretty dope ass answer, but I will say this, it's very predictable. By halfway through, you're probably going to kind of figure out who the main antagonist is, and you're going to figure out what this person's role is, and you're going to kind of figure it all out. Like I figured it out maybe like halfway through the season. It didn't take much time. Like I kind of started to build my case as soon as something raised eyebrows, but that's neither here nor there. But again, the story's fun. It's a very fun season. Everything about it is great. Has a huge horror element. Reminds me of Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, come on, dude. That's all you can freaking ask for. dark ass series. Now, one thing I don't like is that I feel like I'm gonna just say it. I feel like 11 throughout all the seasons wasn't no punk ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't a punk ass. And it really started to feel like this season she was becoming a fucking whiny, sniveling little like weenie. And I just didn't like that. I felt like that was just like beneath her character. I felt like that was out of character for her in general. It just didn't feel like that was who she was. I felt like she was really weenie-fied in this season. And I get it. Sure, it could be account of her losing her freaking abilities like we learned in the last season. But at the same time, it's like I don't think if you was a badass and if you was aggressive, then you're always going to be aggressive. You know, so why are you trying to build up this whole like you're a whiny, sniveling little brat or a whiny, sniveling weenie when that's not who you built yourself up to be every freaking season? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she took a step back in the strength department, like as far as character wise. She was really weak, and I didn't like that she was a weak character because I felt like she was a strong character based off of who she was, not the capabilities that she had. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, I really like the story, but like I said before, it doesn't feel like there's not those Stranger Things vibes. It's not like season one. It really just feels like they're kind of just going with the flow, kind of going with a story that goes with the original series, but at the same time, like it doesn't feel like it's like within the same realm, if that makes any sense. But who knows, dude? It is what it is. Like, hopefully, we get final answers. And the fact that if this is the big boss, if this season is the big boss, then who the fuck is going to be the big boss in the next season? So it's going to be a boss behind the boss, like like we've been having these steady like climbs, like, oh, this was the villain in this season, this is the villain in this season, this is the main villain in this season, right? And it's like they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, I get it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make the bigger and baddest antagonist or whatever. But I think that this person that's the antagonist now should remain the antagonist into season 5. I mean, if it's what I think it is, then he's supposed to be responsible for everything. So we shall see. But I do like his character, even though he's low key kind of a ripoff of Freddy. And with the way he talks, the way he carries himself, the shit he says. There's one scene in particular. Oh my god, like that was straight up out of Nightmare on Elm Street. And like I said, it's a love letter. It's a freaking love letter to the 80s. I can't argue with it. You know, there's even a Freddy reference in the freaking movie. So I mean, in a TV show. So kudos to them. But also, another thing too about this is that all these episodes are running past an hour. Okay. Every single episode is over an hour long. And some of these episodes definitely could have got chopped down. There was a lot of filler. There was a lot of fat that could have definitely been trimmed. I didn't feel like a lot of things were really needed. But again, that's neither here nor there. But again, I enjoyed the season. The season was fun. I mean, I can't complain. I had a lot of enjoyment watching the season. The soundtrack's banging, the characters are lovable, and the gang is back. So, who's going to get mad at that? So that's my review. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with anything that I just said. And you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys are having a magnificent day. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, damn it. And adios.